Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sergeant First Class Richard Foster with the United States Army. I'm here to talk to you today about crime trends in Washington. We've seen an uptick in property crime lately in Washington, and a lot of it comes from the heroin epidemic. Many of you are probably wondering, how is Sergeant First Class Foster an expert in crime trends? I'm a recruiter in Washington, so I have to learn about the area so that I know what problems the applicants may have. I'm also a retired correction officer, and I was a military police, so I try to investigate the area I'm working in. As you can see here in this next slide, there's some pictures of people overdosing or partaking in heroin. Some of them are overdosed. It's a very major problem in Washington today. How much does this cost the citizens? About $50 million of the $150 million budget is related to drugs in Washington. That deals with treatment, law enforcement, incarcerations, autopsies, that type thing. It's roughly $2,000 for every ambulance run. So that's what it's costing you citizens out of your pocket. Overdoses in the county was 109 in 2016 and down to 75 in 2017. Hopefully this year it goes down a little bit more. If we can keep making the citizens and the police and the ambulance crews can continue making a difference, it will continue to go down. So how much does this cost an addict? Addiction costs an addict $10 to $25 per dose. That's $150 a day that they could spend, $4,500 a month, and $54,000 a year. As you can see in this next slide, Washington leads Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania in property crime. They're just behind the national average. In violent crime, Washington is actually ahead of all three of those. In Washington, in a scale of 0 to 100, Washington scores an 8. Not very safe place to live. In 1 square mile, it's estimated that there's 199 crimes, where in Pennsylvania it's 49 crimes per square mile. Next slide shows you some of the chances of becoming a victim in Washington is 1 in 222. In Pennsylvania, it's 1 in 316. That's for a violent crime. Property crime, 1 in 26. For Pennsylvania is 1 in 57. This website here shows you some of the websites you can go to provide tips, to learn what's going on in your community, to communicate with the police. There's Crime Watch PA, which is the Crime Stoppers. There is Tip Submit, which you can submit tips electronically to the police. There is Nextdoor, which you can communicate with your neighbors. You can find out if someone's in your neighborhood going door to door. You can post that so that everybody in the neighborhood would know. It's not entire Washington, it breaks it down to your actual neighborhoods. And there's also the Facebook.com Washington PA Police. They are posting on there things that are going on in the community, wanted posters, and things like that. This slide shows you different stickers that can help to make you a target of crime. All of these show you Second Amendment rights and NRA. Most of the time, these people have guns in and around their vehicles, so criminals look for those type stickers. I would recommend you take them off your vehicle if you have them on. There's a lot of cars being left unsecure in Washington. I just had a young man come into office today who was arrested for stealing a car. Leaving your windows down, leaving the keys in the ignition, windows partially down, it just leads you up to being a victim. Leaving electronics, checkbooks, passports, purses, all those type things in your car could lead you to come out and find your car broken into. Thieves will break the glass to your vehicle to get to those items. So you have to make sure you're securing your vehicles. How can you keep from becoming a victim of crime? Pay attention to your surroundings. Look around your car, look around before you get out of your car, before you, on your way, say you went grocery shopping and you're on your way back, look around your car. See who's just maybe hanging around. Remove the valuables from your vehicle. If you're not going to remove them, at least hide them. Don't leave them laying in the front seat. I don't know how many times I see a cell phone laying in the front seat of a car. Secure your vehicles to include the windows. Roll them up. Don't leave your car running. Report tips to law enforcement. Also, make sure that you use those websites I gave you. I gave you the handout so that everybody has that handout. You can take it home with you. You can register for these different Crime Watch and Nextdoor.com and get yourself into these groups so that you can help yourself to be able to be involved in the community. Community policing. Thank you for your time and interest in your community. Are there any questions?